Really well defended, really well. You must be disappointed.
Yeah, we're a tad disappointed because just when we were just getting into the game, we had the big chance. Chesney has a chance at Bonlaw in that instance. You know, and you're waiting for the big chance, and can you take it? They haven't really had one. But overall, you know, I'm pleased with the way they've performed. They've done it as best they could, not quite good enough. And as a manager, that's all you can ask. And of where I need reminded, of where we need to get to, we've just witnessed today. You know, they're excellent. They're a really good side. They're a really good side, and on a bit of a roll at the moment.
Is that also good confidence that you weren't outclassed?
Well, that was the most important thing, and I think they've stuck to the game plan impeccably. You know, we're disappointed with the goal because we could make it stop the cross better, but it's one of them crosses where it's not a great cross. It's behind you, and he's managed to get ahead on it and score the goal. But defining moments in a big cup tie, big game. You know, we had a big opportunity, and that gives you then something else to fight onto it. But it wasn't until I opened us up in the last 15 minutes to have a go in the cup tie that, you know, it became easy for them. But up until then, up until the goal, we gave as good as we got.
What have you learnt about your team from this sort of opponent facing Tottenham today?
Well, I know for a fact of exactly what needs to be done, and you've seen, you know, a club like ours has to be aspiring to match the Tottenhams again. So I'm under no illusion how difficult it's going to be, but our first priority, of course, is to get out this league what we're in. And if we show that application, last week I was critical of them, today showed me that we've got some good players here, and if they apply themselves right in the Championship, which is week in and week out relentless, then we've got a chance.
What do you think when Dele Alli was getting stripped to go on? You seem to have a couple of words with him.
What did I say?
Yeah, you seem to have a joke with him.
I asked if you could come play for us.
What did he say?
Yeah, someday, Steve, I'd love to join you. I think 80 million might be too much for us, but look, he's had the pleasure to meet him up at MK Dons last year when we were with Hull. He seems a remarkably humble young man, but his looks a very, very good player. So, just a little bit of crackers.
And was that a testament to how well you played that Pochettino felt he had to bring him on?
Well, he certainly changed it for them, doesn't he? He's got that wonderful quality, which really top players have. He seems to find that bit of space, finds the pass. It was his little over that led to the goal. A little bit of quality opened us up, and where they hadn't done that to us. So I don't take it as a compliment. I wish I'd have sat in his arse, but we might have been a bit better off. But overall, we have to accept it and move on.
It was obviously clear pre-match that you wanted to sort of push on Gabby a little bit. How do you feel that he did?
Well, look. All along, I knew I was going to be losing two strikers in AU and Codger. Codger in particular has been my top goal scorer. So in the back of my mind was to say, look, for the Championship, Gabriel Bonlaho's played all his life in the big league, and whatever's happened in the past, I said to him, we all know the stories and this, that and the other, but we've now got him in some sort of shape. I thought he lasted extremely well. He was a threat to them. It's up to him now to grasp the opportunity in January in particular. That was always in my thoughts. We're losing two strikers. Can I reinvite Gabby? And to be fair to the lad, in the 3 months I've been there, he's done everything possible to try and resurrect what has been a difficult time for him.
You were 10th in the Championship, and although you had a very good game, very good first half anyway, you see the difference between a Premier League side, a good side like Tottenham and Aston Villa, and not so long ago, Villa were a very strong team. Now, how do you see the future, Stephen? What do you think? Obviously, you need a bit of injection, cash, etc., from the owners. How do you see
if you look at us, you know, we spent fortunes in the summer. You know, the club spent fortunes in the summer and spent fortunes last summer, and that wasn't the answer. You know, the first thing the club needs is having the sixth manager in 18 months. So it's had a difficult time. The club's had a really difficult time, and for me, you know, there's only 4 teams won the FA Cup more than us. That's testament to the size of our club. So we have to get it back up and running again. So we've had little shoots of recovery since I've been at the club. We're 3rd or 4th in the form table. We have to be able to mount a challenge and try and get back there. So I'll do everything I possibly can. I've waited 20 years for an opportunity like this. I'll try my best and make sure that Aston Villa is thought of in the same way as Spurs has, because certainly we're history, tradition, support, stadium, training ground, but the most important thing is on the pitch, and we have to get that right, and I'll do everything I possibly can. Given a bit of time, I know I will, but do we get time? That's the big thing nowadays, which we always cry for.
Steve, are you in a position to confirm you've made a bid for Henry Lansbury?
We've made an inquiry for Henry Lansbury, but I think 2, 3, 4 other clubs have too. We've made an inquiry to them. We believe he is for sale. That hasn't been confirmed yet. We all know that he's running out of contract, but I think it's not wise of me to talk about other people's players just yet. I think I've been linked with 40 players over the last 6 weeks, and he's one of them.
And based on what you've said about the club and the history and tradition, is he a player you could quite confidently say?
Well,
you could
he's been a very, very good player in the Championship over the last couple of years. So when good players, if he is available, then we're interested, but that's all it is at the moment.